Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for August 2022. This is a general reading with messages meant for those with Capricorn in their birth chart. However, cross watchers are also welcome. Keep in mind that the roles of the individuals identified or the energies may be swapped, and that the intensity of the situation or energy may vary. So take with you whatever messages resonate and leave behind for others whatever does not. I'm going to start off with this Celtic cross reading and close off with an oracle card message. So here in the present situation, you have this card of protection. It is unique to this deck, and I will go over its meaning as I clarify. So you have protection. What covers is the sun. Above you, you have King of Swords. Below you, Nine of Pentacles. In the past, Four of Pentacles. In the near future, Two of Swords. Your view of the situation, Three of Swords. Your environment, Ace of Cups. Hopes and fears, you have the Empress. And the outcome, you have Three of Pentacles. So here with this protection card, the concept is that, it's more of a message of you should be going with the flow because you are protected, and you're not doing that. So it's more of like stagnant, stuck, blocked. And so this card indicates that you are protected, and here you have this jellyfish who is able to deliver a mighty sting whenever they actually need to physically protect themselves. But until that time, they are going with the flow. So that's kind of the message for you to follow. You do have this Four of Pentacles in the past, and so you could see it does look like this squirrel is pretty much closed off and trying to collect so much to hold everything together that really it can't move. So here what covers is the sun, and this is a sense of joy, happiness. In the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith sun card, there is a nude child that is riding a white horse, and that indicates a sense of innocence, purity. It's almost like the Fool, and that the child has their arms open and really ready to experience life. So here, what you have above you with the King of Swords, it is the conscious mind. It may be a particular individual that you have in mind, someone that you're either trying to make happy, maybe a parent, maybe a mentor, friend, significant other. It also, for some of you, is the way that you think you should conduct yourself right now, a sense of being protected, having a sense of reason, really being logical and tough-skinned, like this rhino here. The issue there with the King of Swords is they do have compassion, but sometimes they can be so caught up in their mind that they kind of miserly, but not in the sense of the Four of Pentacles miserly with money, but just like very staunch, just very cut and dry. Here with the Nine of Pentacles below you in your unconscious mind, something that is in the background that you might not be aware of. It's a sense of really appreciating how much you have been able to change, produce, create, enjoying the rewards of your hard work. So here, in your attitude of the situation, you have the Three of Swords, and you've got these Japanese beetles on this rose bush here, and just devouring this rose. So, the concept here is, sometimes things happen in life that are disappointing, and sometimes it's just part of life. It's expected. And you just have to deal with the aftermath of it. So what you have in your environment, though, is you have this Ace of Cups. You have this, either an offer of love, opportunities, or just, something spiritual, something for you to really take hold of, should you choose. And here in your hopes and fears, you have the Empress card. The Empress is, it seems like your hopes and fears are you want to be connected to a sense of beauty, nature, love, like to feel yourself actually, your senses, like I want to just say sensory aspects, like sensuality, sexuality, a sense of actually feeling not only just from the heart and like an emotional connection, but feeling alive, kind of like with this sun here. And what you have in this near future, you have the Two of Swords, which is another kind of stuckness. It's a sense of being at a crossroad, a sense of stalemate, unable to make a decision due to like fears or worries or doubts. And the idea is just to make a decision, because it's not going to be the best decision. It's not going to be the worst decision. There's too many factors to actually, grasp onto. And if you can manage a decision, that's just the best way to go. But you've got this, the way that you're looking at things is from this more reasonable, intellectual, more than reasonable, intellectual viewpoint of there's got to be a right decision. And with your attitude of this idea of protection and being kind of stuck versus taking a chance and being alive, and possibly it being the wrong decision, it's kind of the attitude is you don't want to get hurt. Maybe you've been hurt in the past, and you don't want to get hurt again, or you're in a place of hurt because you made a decision that wasn't great before, and maybe you're aware that you need to work on that and heal that. And with the outcome being the Three of Pentacles, this is a sense of other people helping you through things. So maybe you need to ask for help, or maybe it's been offered to you and you didn't want it before, but there's this Ace of Cups just living in your environment for you to take advantage of. So let's take a look at the Four of Pentacles in the past with that squirrel. You have the Queen of Swords. So, this could be, again, if this is this King of Swords that's in your conscious mind, if that's someone that you're trying to be like or make happy, then you really being trying to get a foundation, trying to be secure, trying to make the right decisions. It may be your way of practicing your independence. Trying to cut off your fear and anxiety. Taking life experiences to learn from them. But if you're coming from this, your attitude is this Three of Swords position, then maybe you haven't learned from them. So let's take a look at this current place of protection. And also, the Queen of Swords is very much someone who is going to protect. They are going to they're going to mess you up if you're going to mess with them. That's kind of what it is. So let's take a look at this protection card. You have the King of Wands. And the King of Wands definitely is one of those go with the flow type of people. They go with the flow of what their passion is. They definitely are the type of people who embrace life, who aren't going to go the safe route just because someone else told them to, or, it's supposed to be the safe route. They're going to go the route that drives them, that brings them joy, that brings them happiness, that, is almost like that internal sun aspect. So, I would say perhaps there's a handful of you that, maybe you got stung in the past by either trying to be kind of like this King of Wands, or you got stung by a King of Wands that you wanted to be with in terms of like a romantic sense. So let's take a look at the Sun here. You have the Eight of Cups, and this is about, walking away when the situation isn't for your best and highest good, and actually you can see this individual is walking towards the sun. So to some degree, it may be that you've been protecting yourself. It seems like there's something in the past that perhaps you use this protection, this just using reason, logic, facts, without really healing what needed to be healed, or you thought you did. The thing about the Three of Swords is that, well, the traditional Three of Swords, but I'm assuming it can take one Japanese beetle to destroy a rosebud, but you've got three here. So they create, damage in different parts. So it may be that you took care of one part, but the other ones, they're starting to show, signs of decay, or they need to be tended to at this point in time as opposed to a different point in time. So let's take a look at the King of Swords above you. I'm not going to take all those. We'll take the top one. You've got the Knight of Cups. So definitely the Knight of Cups is one of those charmers, romancers, offering offering messages of love. And the King of Swords is going to question their intentions. The King of Swords is going to be, those, stereotypical shows where someone's dad grills someone coming to pick up their kid for a date, being like, what are your intentions? So that's kind of vibe that I'm getting here. And that could be a particular person, or it could be an imagined person, in the sense of, when you're hurt, if there's someone that specifically caused your hurt, then you can in your head chew them out. But if it's, lessons that you've learned or trying to learn from, then it's like an accumulation of stuff, and it'll be like just some imagined sweet talker, and you kind of just, every romantic thing they might say, kind of firing back with a really specific question. It's like a bullet to like pop their balloon, to pop their lead balloon, because you don't, you're trying to see if what they're offering is real, and if they'll finally just be like, okay, fine, never mind, you're not worth that. Or if they're actually going to be like, no, I'm a really caring person. So for here, the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Swords. So stress, anxiety, worry, these are kind of opposite energies, but they're both nines. They're both a sense of almost reaching the end of the suit. And it's just an accumulation. So it could be, trying to establish yourself, trying to make the right decisions, trying to recognize that you've grown. You're not the same person you used to be, but you're not the person you exactly think you should be. And it's kind of a sense of conflict there. So let's take a look at the Three of Swords. Oh. You have the Moon here. So something about following your intuition. This individual is in the water and more sinking than going with the flow. But the idea there is a sense of really things aren't clear. There's a sense of illusions. There's a sense of wanting to trust your intuition. But if you've got this underlying fear and anxiety, then it creates more obstacles than are probably there in reality. And to some degree, if you're unable to make a decision, because in the traditional Two of Swords here, this is in your near future position. In the traditional Two of Swords, the individual has a blindfold on and their back is to the water and there's kind of rocks behind them, and that indicates that they're, new lands. And if the person just took off the blindfold and turned around, they would see it. But then there's a sense of like needing to trust their intuition, but not really trusting it, because if they trusted their intuition, they wouldn't really need the blindfold. So here it's almost a sense of perhaps maybe you did in the past try to trust something that was more intuitive, your feelings, some type of maybe even you like some kind of dream that you had and it turned out to bite you, something along those lines. And here you're surrounded by the Ace of Cups, and it's kind of seeming for most people, Ace of Cups would be great, but if you have fear and anxiety and you don't trust your own intuition, you might be kind of not really eager to accept an Ace of Cups. Let's take a look at that. Is my deck upside down? Yes. You got the Five of Cups. So it's kind of a sense of lots of emotions. Could be good, could be bad. So it does kind of indicate like something wasn't healed, something wasn't from your past, something was just glossed over, reasoned over, and being in this sense of a feeling, allowing yourself to feel, allowing emotions to overcome you, good or bad. It seems that there's a fear that they will just be bad. So in here, in your hopes and fears, you have this Empress, which is all about sensuality, feelings. It's a feeling of emotions, but also the senses. And here, it does kind of seem like it might be related to sexuality and sensuality. You got the Knight of Cups and the King of Wands, and I would say those are definitely sexy, sensual individuals. And you've got the Ace of Cups. So let's take a look at the Empress here. This card wants to come out. You got the Four of Cups, and this is, again, it's almost like opposites. This individual doesn't even know there's a rainbow right next to them. They're similarly located in like a field or a meadow, and this individual is kind of closed off, physically closed off, isn't really aware of all the things around them to be grateful for, to, to appreciate. Maybe doesn't even notice that there's this baby cow with, what is that? Like ladybug wings. I think that is that ladybug wings? Ladybugs are like good luck for some people. And so to some degree, it's a sense of almost wishing there was something else, but also not recognizing, not only not recognizing, wishing that you had something else, but what you want is the thing that you are trying to avoid, which is that sense of intimacy and feeling and sensuality, and physical touch even. So let's take a look at the Two of Swords in the near future. You have your Tower. So in a way, it seems like this divine intervention has to take place. Maybe it will help you make a decision, and maybe it will be that the result of not making a decision. And you can see, interestingly, that there's a little squirrel. Maybe this little squirrel here found shelter in this tree and decided they were going to just stick it out there, not interact with anyone, just be on their lonesome and, save their walnuts or whatever. And divine intervention was like, nope, I'm not going to let you do that. I'm not going to let you just, waste away here. And so here in the outcome of Three of Pentacles, it is a sense of working with others. It could be working with others to help you process, this Three of Swords situation, to deal with your Nine of Swords situation and your Tower situation. For some of you, you might, and your Five of Cups situation, and the Four of Cups situation, where it's a sense of really emotionally and down, and a sense of not even having that hope. It's like you don't even get to feel that sun aspect. So for some of you, perhaps, talking to a medical professional. For others, perhaps, reading self-help books, or, just talking to your friends, getting busy, doing things, moving, not just sitting around, ignoring rainbows. So let's take a look at the Three of Pentacles. You have the Page of Swords, and this is, doing some research, finding out some information. It's taking it back down from this King of Swords energy that's more like hardened. The Page of Swords is more curious, is more open to learning more things, interacting with the world, and seeing, how that new information can be applied. So I'm going to close the reading with an oracle card message from your inner light to see what you should embrace this month. You have this Secret Spring success card here. So there's this concept of, a secret spring, some place that has this flow of water that can help your dreams come true, help you be successful. And in your environment, you've got this Ace of Cups here that is kind of an offering for you. But, maybe you know what that is. Maybe you don't know what it is. With a Four of Cups there, maybe you don't even want to know what it is. But it's the idea that, maybe success is coming your way, especially with the Nine of Pentacles. And it could be that you're afraid to kind of feel the things that go along with that type of success. And to some degree, with the Three of Pentacles and the Page of Swords, it seems that you're going to need to take some type of action, and not just kind of sink to the bottom of this water, this secret spring of success and opportunity that's flowing to you. And, perhaps working with others, learning about, why you'd be blocked, or, be afraid of succeeding, or even, finding out the ways that you can just start feeling again, feeling even comfortable in your own skin, is a good start. So I'm hoping this provides a helpful perspective of your August. And to uncover more about the month, check out your readings for Sun, Moon, and Rising signs. We'll see you next time. Take care.